Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Letitia Wallace begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. First tonight, it has been a horror start to the Easter long weekend on our roads, with a motorcyclist dying after a crash in Launceston CBD. Officers had attempted to intercept the speeding rider moments before the fatal incident claimed the 21-year-old's life.
A busy intersection closed as police trawl through the aftermath of a brutal smash. A sedan turning into Home Point collided with a motorbike travelling along Bathurst Street.
Unfortunately, the 21-year-old motorcycle rider suffered severe injuries and died as a result.
The victim believed to be Harry Tucker, friends remembering him as one of the happiest and most caring blokes they'd ever met, calling him one of a kind. Rest easy, brother, posted another. Tributes to the 21-year-old laid at the scene today. Police had attempted to intercept his vehicle shortly before the incident. Officers watched the crash happen 100 metres up the road.
Not only an investigation into the crash itself, but we're reviewing the actions of our own police. Although at this stage we're very satisfied that the police actions were appropriate.
The incident occurred at 6:20 last night. Emergency services closed the intersection and surrounding roads for 4 hours. Tasmania's road toll now stands at 15. That's almost 4 times what it was at this point last year. And there are a concerning amount of motorcycle deaths, with police pleading for riders to take care.
It's becoming wet due to the weather. It's slippery, it's colder, it's icy, and obviously if you've got 2 wheels holding you onto the road surface instead of 4, you're potentially more susceptible.
Police are calling for anyone with dash cam of the motorcycle to come forward. A report will be prepared for the coroner. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A woman in her 80s has died with COVID in a southern residential aged care facility overnight. Tasmania has recorded 1,489 new infections, down from 1,800 yesterday. 26 people are being treated specifically for COVID in hospital. One of those is in the ICU. There are almost 10,500 active cases in the community. Churchgoers have marked one of the most significant events on the calendar, attending Good Friday services across the state. This Easter, there's another reason to celebrate, with COVID restrictions scaled back for the first time in years.
A day of commemoration, remembering the sacrifices of Christ. The pews filled at St Mary's Cathedral in Hobart for the annual Good Friday service. Catholic and Anglican parishioners recited prayers on a walk through Hobart, while the faithful gathered from around Launceston to attend a joint service at Church of the Apostles.
Observance is important to us. It's not just all Easter eggs.
And do some reflection to ourselves and to memorise about Jesus.
All to mark a significant event.
Easter is one of the most important periods within our church calendar.
Jesus died on the cross for us, and we come here to thank him.
It's when Jesus died and tried to save for us, and I think we need a little bit of saving at the moment in the world.
People of faith have another reason to celebrate Easter this year, attending church services with no restrictions for the first time since the pandemic began. Celebrations will continue for Easter Sunday Mass in 2 days' time. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
More than 1,000 people have dressed in their best Easter costumes and converged on Hobart's Botanical Gardens, ready to hunt chocolate eggs for a good cause. All funds from the event are directed back into vital medical research at the state's largest hospital.
Hopping into the spirit, these bunnies bounced into an excellent adventure, dressed as the all-important
Easter bunny?
But there was no time for rabbiting on, as the search for clues with a chocolatey end became the immediate focus for these Tasmanian children.
And these are yum.
That's for you. Happy Easter.
We haven't found that yet. We just got to get all the clues first.
Yeah.
Turning out in droves for the Royal Hobart Hospital Research Foundation, the sellout event once again raising funds for much-needed medical research grants.
With the proceeds from today's event, we would hope to fund 2 more medical research grants in 2023.
Finding out more about a specific sleep disorder that has a really high risk of progression to a new neurodegenerative disease in the future.
Smashing their initial $20,000 target, there was plenty to smile about in the Botanical Gardens.
We're so lucky that so many people have gotten involved because, without people sort of contributing to research, we don't find out new knowledge and we can't improve the health and lives of people in the future.
The event has been an annual Easter highlight for 10 years now, but it's no easy feat to find the chocolate eggs with hectares of garden to cover.
It brings families into age groups and, they pick up a clue sheet and they go far and wide across our beautiful Royal Tasmanian Botanical Garden.
Of course, the day wouldn't be complete without some Easter-inspired face painting and a snap next to a special visitor.
Happy Easter!
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmanian News.
Well, it's only round 4, but Launceston has one hand on the TSL Cup. The grand final rematch was all one-way traffic. Launceston thrashing its crosstown rival by more than 100 points. Kingborough gave North Hobart a toweling at Twin Ovals, while Clarence came back against Lauderdale to win by less than a kick. Long sleeves were in vogue in Rouland, but Lauderdale was already warmed up. Harry Richmond lit the flame, kicking the air out of the ball from 50. He'd end up with 3 for the day. Lauderdale entered the second term with a 4-goal buffer, but Clarence slowly clawed back the margin, finally hitting the lead 17 minutes into the final term off Colin Garland's boot. Ollie Preshaw snapped truly to give Clarence a real sniff of the win, but Lauderdale had other ideas, closing the gap in the final moments to have hearts and mouths. Relief came for the Roos when the final siren sounded. The difference, 5 points. North Hobart crashed back down to earth after last week's pummelling of Glenorchy. Jordan Lane had 4 for Kingborough, Tyler Carter with 3, as the Tigers demolished the D's by 54 points. And if the 90s had no Carey, no North, the TSL has no Cox Goodger, no North. The Blues simply outclassed North Launceston. Jake Hines was his usual dangerous self.
Hines waltzes in and kicks another goal for the Blues.
A big kick from 50 to Theo Ives finally put North Launceston on the board late in the first term, but by then, the reigning premier was unstoppable. The East Coast's Isaac Newitt was the good news story, booting a goal on debut.
And he gets the goal as Isaac Newitt. Congratulations, young man, they get around him.
By the time Joby Harper kicked Launceston's 18th major for the day, the margin had stretched beyond 100 points. The question now, can anyone stop the rampaging Blues? Western United players have touched down in Tasmania ahead of their 2-game stint in the state. Coach and Socceroos legend John Aloisi says the state has been a happy hunting ground for the club.
We enjoy winning, so that's why we love Tasmania, because we've won a lot of games there. I know there's a lot of supporters down in Tasmania of the sport, and there's a lot of kids and adults that play the game. So it's great for us to help that.
The Festival of Football begins tomorrow as our adopted side takes on Macarthur FC at UTAS Stadium. And tonight's Good Friday flashback is to the Easter Cup in 1995. Back then, the biggest threat to racing was Saturday trading. As the Pope delivered his Easter message to the masses in 1995 and Hobart boldly preached the gospel.
So for the risen Christ, hip hip! Hooray! Louder, hip hip!
The Launceston Pacing Club was looking for its own saviour. The start of Saturday trading a week before the Easter Cup was putting pressure on racing's popularity. In reply, Tas Keno was introduced to draw back punters. This day, though, the crowds poured in once again as Galloper, exceptionally smooth, took out the $45,000 cup.
What a mighty run by the mare, and exceptionally smooth, races away to win it well.
Racing was in action across the state that weekend, both at Elwick and Deloraine, where Bev Buckingham had her 3rd win in a row.
Wing Out wins it easily.
A home crowd favourite lapped up by the fans.
Good evening, everyone. Showers across most of the state this morning, with Hobart reaching 19 degrees and Launceston, Burnie and Devonport all 17. Flinders Island, the state's top today of 23 degrees, 19 in St Helens and Ouse, King Island, Lowhead and Friendly Beaches 18 and 12 in Lyowini. A thick band of cloud can be seen over the state today associated with a cold front, and further out, cloud over New South Wales is associated with a trough which extends to a frontal band over and to the southeast of Tasmania. Another frontal band lies well south of Western Australia. Tomorrow, a trough can be seen just northeast of Tasmania, with highs centred to the north and south. A trough persists over Western Australia and extends to a front over South Australia. Variable winds tomorrow 5 to 10 knots, but south to southeasterly 10 to 20 knots about the east and northeast. Cloudy and 20 degrees in Hobart tomorrow, Maydena 18, 17 in Oatlands. Launceston a shower or 2 and 20, 19 in Devonport, Lyowini reaching 14. Possible showers and 19 degrees in Burnie and Strawn tomorrow, Marrawar cloudy and 20. And 19 in showers in St Helens and Swansea, and cloudy and 19 in Orford. On Sunday, showers developing about the west during the afternoon, extending statewide. Showers on Monday easing in the afternoon. And on Tuesday, showers about the north and east, otherwise fine elsewhere. Sunny in Perth and Adelaide tomorrow, 27 in Melbourne, Canberra 23, 24 degrees in Sydney and partly cloudy in Brisbane and Cairns. And currently Hobart 14 degrees and mostly cloudy, and Devonport 15 and mostly cloudy, Launceston also 14. That's all in Good Friday's weather, Letitia.
Thanks so much, Chelsea. And that's all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Have a good weekend. Good night.